Hello and welcome to MacFormat's weekly Apple Extravaganza. I'm Chris Finn.
I'm Matt Bolton.
And on this episode we talk about a green apple.
Set-top boxes.
And we take a close look at a microscope. We start though with news in the world of Apple. And the news from Apple this week is that Greenpeace likes it.
What? Greenpeace?
Greenpeace. Well, the company that... so Greenpeace, obviously an environmental watchdog. It keeps an eye on the state of the planet, basically. And it has been true in the past that Greenpeace has been quite antagonistic towards Apple as a company, it's fair to say. It started doing these guides to greener electronics back in 2006, which was a kind of overall ranking of a company's green performance. In the very first in 2006, Apple scored 2.7 out of 10. In 2012, it scored 4.5 out of 10. And then Greenpeace started looking at particularly at the energy use of companies, especially for powering cloud services. And in 2012, absolutely slammed it. Greenpeace claims Apple relies heavily on dirty energy to power their clouds.
The clouds.
It powers clouds.
Clouds of smog. Rather than
Exactly. So we've got a D for transparency, F for infrastructure, D for energy efficiency, and D for renewable energy investment and advocacy. So scored really badly. 2012. Greenpeace still doesn't like Apple. 2014 though, today, and in the new report that's just out from Greenpeace, this document here, which you can download from its website, it absolutely loves Apple. This is partly because Apple now has a strong commitment to 100% renewable energy for its cloud data services.
Well, yeah. When the last report was done, the data centres weren't built.
Yeah.
And now they are.
Yeah.
So it can use renewable energy.
It can use renewable energy. And it's not just that it can, but it is fully committed to renewable energy for its stuff. And also that Greenpeace is satisfied that not only is it committed to it, but it is actually making steps towards it. One company that does incredibly badly in this report, though, is Amazon for AWS, Amazon Web Services.
Okay.
Which is, you might think, meh. But of course, Amazon Web Services powers a vast proportion of the internet, especially internet traffic. So Netflix is hosted through AWS, Spotify is hosted through AWS, and Greenpeace thinks that AWS is, in fairness though, part of the reason that it slams it so hard is because it's not transparent.
This is the thing with Greenpeace. To a certain degree, its job is to promote itself by slamming big name companies and getting in the headlines. Yeah. And the transparency thing has always been the thing. I remember it's done it with Nintendo as well in the past, where they ask people, tell us everything about your operation, and they say no, and they go, well, you must be pouring oil into children's cornflakes.
Indeed.
And giving them a score of 1.
Indeed.
When really they don't know.
And in fact, indeed so. And in fact, another part of the mix in coming up with these scores is it's basically to do with the mix of energy, whether it's coal or natural gas or fuel cells or renewables, wind or solar. But also, Greenpeace doesn't like nuclear. It thinks nuclear is a bad energy source, and I would challenge that.
That's okay. That seems relative to coal.
Yes,
it's an interesting choice.
Indeed, and indeed, especially if we look at. And I know that environmental activists slam people for holding up thorium-powered nuclear power stations as a panacea, but if we start looking at different ways in which nuclear could work, it seems to me that could and should be a perfectly valid part of the mix. Greenpeace's point is that nuclear is a distraction and that it stops us from focusing on proper renewable energy. But the thing that's interesting is that now and Greenpeace is focusing on this energy use of the cloud. And that's a valid way of thinking about it, I think. And they're saying that by 2020, I have a stat highlighted here, that our reliance on, or rather the electricity demand for cloud services is likely to increase by 60%, which even that seems quite conservative to me. By 2020, a 60% increase in the cloud. But it shows that we are moving into a cloud-based economy.
I suppose that could take energy efficiency as in how we deal with information into account.
That's a valid point. It also claims that collectively energy demand for the cloud services, if it was put together as a country, would rank as the 6th biggest country in terms of energy consumption in the world.
If you just took all the data centres.
Yeah, essentially all the things that are powered.
And turn them into one horrifying dystopia.
It's a sort of sea land
just
plus.
Corridors.
That look a lot like this.
Yes.
So there you go. Greenpeace, at least in this aspect of Apple's businesses thinks it's doing a good job. But Apple's trying hard. It took on Lisa Jackson from the EPA. We're seeing EP Gold certification for all of its products. We're seeing moves to take out conflict minerals as well from its. It feels like Apple. It feels different to me. It feels like it's a real step change.
As much as you can, it's all still pretty not environmentally great.
Yeah, exactly. And
Anyway.
you know how much of it's a whitewash. Move on.
Move on to the wider world of tech. Okay, and the big news this week that I have chosen to talk about, you may have different opinions on the big news this week, is that Amazon is launching Fire TV in America, which is a Apple TV competitor, streaming set-top box / games console. I've prepared a quiz for you. So the idea with Fire TV, which is a strange name, it doesn't include Kindle, but it's somehow related to Kindle Fire. I don't know. You buy it and it's sort of like an Apple TV.
Stop hitting the table.
Sorry. You buy it and it's sort of like an Apple TV,
yes.
And it's got in America Netflix, Hulu, Pandora,
HBO Go,
probably Showtime, definitely, and you can also buy a $40 games controller and turn it into a games console, and it downloads these games. You can't load other apps, as far as I'm aware, other than streaming ones, but you can buy games.
Yes.
So,
are the answers on this quiz sheet as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Try not to look too much. I'm going to give you a statement, and you're going to tell me whether it is the $99 streaming and game playing Amazon Fire TV, or whether the statement relates to the arguably failed $99 games console, Ouya.
Okay. Yep.
Has a quad-core processor.
That's that Fire TV.
Actually, it's both.
Okay.
I broke the rules right in the first question.
Tricky
so
little.
Now you don't know whether.
Tricky little hobbitses.
Number 2, it has over a dozen exclusive games in development.
In development.
Yes.
I'm gonna say
coming in the future.
I feel like I should say Fire TV for that, but I'm gonna. No, rather, it feels like I should say Ouya for that, but Ouya seems to have kind of dropped off. Ouya.
That is, according to Engadget, that is the Amazon Fire TV that has over a dozen. The Ouya has 6 exclusive games in development. Question 3.
That certainly makes more sense, because Fire TV does seem like a more active target.
I've actually ruined some of these by speaking already. Question 3. Comes with a controller. Ouya. That's not a question. That is the Ouya, and the Amazon one costs $40.
Indeed. I knew that one.
Question 4. Has 8 gigabytes of storage.
Both?
Well, that's the Ouya. Amazon just doesn't bother mentioning how much storage, which if you're going to buy a load of games, seems pretty short-sighted to not even tell you how many you can download. Since it will be
cached locally,
Number 5, uses a unique currency for purchases, i.e. not real money, not dollars.
That must be the Ouya, because the Amazon phone will just go through Amazon's own payment system.
Incorrect. Amazon includes Amazon coins. Yeah, that's right. Amazon coins, which are like...
So you buy it. This is like Xbox, whatever they were called.
Well, they used to be Microsoft points, and they're even getting rid of those.
Yeah, exactly.
This is bad because fake currency is one of the classic ways for free-to-play gougers, the worst free-to-play game creators, to not let you know how much you're actually spending.
I see. Yeah, so
very hard to gauge with the value of something if you've got to translate it through a separate currency. You probably can use real money as well, but you get some Amazon coins when you buy the controller,
which can get you into it.
Number 6. We already streams Netflix, YouTube, and lots of American-only options.
Both.
Actually, just the Amazon Fire TV. The Ouya can sideload Android apps, but they don't work so good. But it comes with Xbox. What used to be called Xbox Media Center, just XBMC. And Twitch streaming, which is not for nothing these days, which the Fire doesn't come with. And the last one has over 100 games.
Ouya?
That's both. The Ouya has 737, but Amazon is saying that the Fire TV already has over 100 games available.
And do we know, are these just vanilla Android games? Do they need special work from the developers?
They would have to have some work, because they'll have to work with a controller rather than touchscreen.
Okay.
which not all necessarily would.
No. But if you already had hardware controller support built into your Android game,
then you probably wouldn't need to do much.
Yeah.
But anyway, point is, this is basically what people are saying Apple should launch.
Yeah, and in fact, Amazon's the only company that could conceivably compete with Apple in terms of ecosystem, in terms of the whole complete system.
Yes, and its willingness to lose money.
Yeah.
To just throw money
Yeah.
into the drain if it will get it market share in something.
It's a cash cow. A loss leader in business terms.
Yes, exactly.
Just get people bought into the system and then move forward.
Which it will do, and that could be kind of frustrating for some games companies, especially if it carries over the practices that it does in ebooks and things like that.
The screen won't come back on. We'll just cut here.
If it carries on, yeah, we go. If it carries on its practices in ebooks and other areas, and I think it does this on the Amazon App Store for
Android.
Kindle Kindle Fire apps, of just discounting your app and not telling you, and just taking control.
Well, let's see if how Apple responds. Let's see if it steps up. Let's move on though to our little microscope. What we have here. What we have this week is this little microscope here. What is connected to my aging MacBook Pro here, and what we have on the screen is a picture of a cola bottle in close-up view.
Very close up.
Very close-up view. I brought some other. That's gone a bit gooey. I brought some more things. I have some bread, which we shall have a little look at.
Is that going to work?
Yes.
Oh.
Just went. Why is this not focused? There we go.
It's I think finicky, isn't it?
It is finicky. I think possibly because my Mac is screen recording at the same time, it is struggling somewhat. Let's give it something slightly easier. Give it some one of my wife's socks. There we go.
Does your wife know about this?
She will soon. Let's just screw that in.
What magnification does this go up to?
This is just impossible.
Do you know what magnification it goes
Yes, but I'm focusing, literally. There we go. Fibers!
Wow.
It goes up to 1200 times digital magnification, which is obviously rubbish.
Yeah.
It goes up to 300 times optical. Now, there's some really crap things about it, because when you're connected to a Mac like this, the resolution is limited to 640 480 VGA resolution, which is rubbish.
Is it not limited when you're not connected to a
No,
Mac?
because what it can also do is it's currently connected up to the Mac, but what you can do instead is have it completely free roaming, freestanding. It can be, it's got battery inside it, and there's an SD card goes in the side. And that way, if you do that, then it can take photographs up to 5 megapixels.
Okay.
But let's see if we can make some. This is going to be an absolute disaster, but let's see if we can make some salt work. This is salt, nothing more dodgy than that. If we get it close now, we tighten this off.
None of that nasty sugar stuff.
Yes. It's just a white mass. Let's see.
You've just described salt up close. Oh, you had it.
Did I have it? It's like the world's worst computer game trying to focus this, but we're looking over on this monitor.
Can you not have this monitor on as well if you're...
No, there is, as Matt says, there's a little display on top here, but if I'm tethered up to the Mac, then that is as much as I get. I'm just going to give up on that, to be honest. We shall we'll take some photographs afterwards, and they are now displaying on your screen the ones that are actually good of some of these items, what we have.
Your show and tell is a little disappointing
It
this
is,
time.
it really is. It really is. Do you know what's even more disappointing? The price.
Oh, okay.
Would you like to have a guess? So 640 480 resolution, portable. 5
megapixel resolution, be fair.
As you'll see, the pictures are okay, but the sensor is really a bit crappy, very noisy. This is most definitely a toy, or at least something for an enthusiastic, although not terribly capable school student.
Is it 250?
It is 200. It's 19995.
1995.
On to
And if
Amazon.
you order today, you can get 10% off.
But wait, that's not all. But like a couple £100 does strike me as being a not small amount of money for something that is not a good scientific tool, and nor is it a good. impulse fun kind of buy just because it's so expensive.
Maybe for schools or something.
Yeah, I
though,
guess
just to,
schools would do it.
just to have a bit of fun.
Yeah. It is actually, I promise, slightly easier to use than I'm making it appear. It's just because
I'm gonna have to vamp while you're dialing in. What's the coolest thing you've looked at up close, Chris?
nothing.
Oh,
Like I couldn't find
nothing
any.
is good up close.
No, I couldn't find anything that sort of showed it off to be awesome. I thought the salt crystals might be really good. This is good Malden English sea salt. Nice big crystals. I thought that might be quite interesting to look at. And who knows, possibly after this, when we've looked at it properly, it will have proven to be interesting to look at, but it's just not at the moment.
But right, no, not so much.
But like...
The studio people would be really pleased about you just pouring it all over.
Just some salt on the table, just leave it there.
It's fine.
Do you know what? I'm just a bit disappointed in it, to be honest. I was really excited. Like, microscopes, woo! Let's look at some cool stuff and connect up to the Mac, and it's going to be really cool. But it just proved to be not good enough to justify the money.
VHO is not a microphone specialist.
Microphone.
Microscope specialist.
No, it's a sort of consumer electronics company. It's
I know they make speakers and stuff, but maybe this explains.
We can't make it stop. Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, there we go. Do let us know, obviously, what you think. Greenpeace liking Apple, dogs and cats living together, all that sort of thing. That's a strange turnaround, but is it a good idea that Apple's putting so much emphasis on the green debate? We didn't get to talk about Tim Cook and his bloody ROI. That was Australian. Tim Cook's accent.
I'm glad we didn't.
Tim Cook's accent does fascinate me. It's a fabulous accent. But he was criticised for green policies recently by a right-wing think tank, and responded by saying he doesn't always make decisions based on good ROI, but sometimes just on the right things to do.
Yes.
And environmental properties was an example of that. So what do you think of all that I just said? What do you think of my Tim Cook accent? What do you think indeed of the Fire TV? It is finally a credible competitor to Apple TV. Does that mean Apple will up its game? And if you don't think this is a bit rubbish, then you're wrong. But by all means, tell me you're wrong. Demonstrate your wrongness in the comments below.
Don't forget that you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/MacFormatUK. You can watch any of our previous episodes, and you can get the free trial of the interactive iPad edition of MacFormat at macformat.com/iPad.
That's it for this week. We will see you next week.
Bye.